You know, guys, we talk a lot about pitch being a tool to help you create separation between your words. If you're not sure what pitch is, it's kind of like saying, if I do this, I talk high. If I do this, I talk low. So, those are different examples of pitch. We need pitch to create separation between words. However, it can get a little bit complicated, right? Because we want to make sure that our transitions between pitches are happening in a way that sounds smooth. And so, today, in this video, we're going to be found in your own speech. Okay. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, guys. Welcome to your daily American English pronunciation show. Wake up, American. Monday through Friday, we're here typically a little bit earlier, right? Around 8 a.m. New York to make sure that you can get in your 5 to 10 minutes of pronunciation practice for today. And to guide you in that process, there is me. Hello, my name is Jeff. It rhymes with breath. That is one of the four keys to a really natural sound in American English pronunciation, including placement, pitch, breath, and trying to weaken your consonant sounds and strengthen your vowel sounds. And again, today we're going to be taking a look at pitch, trying to look at pitch in a way that we can use it naturally in our transitions without sounding awkward or having anything that makes our sentences a little bit choppier as we transition. To do this, we're going to be looking at a couple different conditionals. For those of you in our Telegram group, this is going to look familiar. We've done these sorts of exercises before. We have a conditional, we break it into different parts, and we see how basically how the different sections work together as we transition between pitch. Okay, the way we're going to treat each of these conditionals is we're going to do the if clause as one thought group and then the second half as a second thought group. And the other thing we're going to do is we're going to treat the first thought group with a higher pitch and the second thought group as a lower pitch. That's just to give you a framework for everything that we're about to do here for our practice right now. There are obviously other ways you could do this too. Some people are joining us as well. Emmanuel is here, Ganshim is here, Sam is here, Kawar is here, and Milad is here as well. Great to see you all. Let us look at our sentences. So again, first thought group higher, second thought group lower. Okay, so we have, and let's maybe look at that first one. If I were you, I would sleep. So let's maybe stress, if I were you, let's stress I, if I, and then sleep. And I'm going to say it two ways. I want you to see if you can hear a difference. If I were you, I would sleep. If I were you, I would sleep. So that's the first way I would say it. Let's say it a second way. What's up also to Berta? Okay. If I were you, I would sleep. If I were you, I would sleep. What's the difference? If I were you, I would sleep. If I were you, I would sleep. One of the big differences there is just the range of pitches that we're using. Hopefully in the second one thing you're noticing is that the it, it doesn't have as dramatic jumps between pitches. It doesn't say I would sleep. I would sleep. It's more I would sleep. I would sleep. I would sleep. So it just gets this kind of softened chain. I would sleep. I would sleep. So it's not I would sleep. I would sleep. Because remember, in pitch, for American English, when we're talking about stress, we don't need real dramatic pitch changes. We don't have to go up in pitch crazy high to show stress. All we need to do is go up in pitch slightly, and our listener is going to hear stress. We can't forget that. So we don't need to do much to stress a word. We just need some slight movement. Okay. So when we have this, I would sleep, I would sleep, I would sleep. It doesn't have to be I would sleep. If I were you, I would sleep. Because that gets kind of choppy versus if I were you, I would sleep. If I were you, I would sleep. So this is kind of the big thing I want us to pay attention to as we practice today. Where we'll do examples where the pitch jumps are going to be more dramatic, and then we'll do some examples where those pitch jumps will be a little bit more subtle, so that way we can try to smooth things out. Okay. Again, one last time doing that first one. Let's make the pitch jumps a little bit more dramatic. If I were you, I would sleep. If I were you, I would sleep. Things like that. How about our second one here where we have it's a problem, don't worry about it. So let's maybe stress problem and then worry. So we're going to stress problem and worry in our second sentence. Okay, so let's do the first one with some more dramatic pitch jumps, right? If it's a problem, if it's a problem, if it's a problem, don't worry about it. If it's a problem, don't worry about it. If it's a problem, don't worry about it. Okay, and that's not to say that that is even wrong. There's going to be situations where saying it like that is absolutely fine. Okay, but it does have some pretty dramatic pitch movements. So if you want to soften it a little bit, like if it's a problem, if it's a problem. So instead of saying if it's a problem, more if it's a problem. And then our next part, don't worry about it. So it's not don't worry about it, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. The other way that you can help try to make this linking a little bit smoother too is to slow everything down. Give more space to your vowels because the vowels are going to be this moment where that's where you're going to really hear those pitch movements because the vowels are kind of like the motor of your sentence, right? The motor of your words. This is the part that is kind of the heart. It's where most of your word, when you say a word, is going to be on the vowel sound because American English is so focused on vowel sounds. Okay, so Sam saying this is really helpful. Thank you, Sam. Appreciate that. So let's again compare. Let's do dramatic pitch changes and then a little smoother. It's like if it's a problem, don't worry about it. If it's a problem, don't worry about it. Versus if it's a problem, don't worry about it. If it's a problem, don't worry about it. You can hear the difference in pitch. We don't have to go crazy in pitch. We're just trying to go a little softer as we raise onto our pitch and then fall on our stress. If it's a problem, don't worry about it. If it's a problem, don't worry about it. Hopefully you can still hear the pitch differences between the thought groups too. If it's a problem, first thought group, then we drop. Don't worry about it. If it's a problem, don't worry about it. Okay? And then our very last one here. So again, we're going to do first thought group, higher pitch, second thought group, lower pitch. Okay. And let's stress call and then ring. We're going to stress call and ring. If they call, let it ring. If they call, let it ring. Versus if we try to smooth that out a little bit, if they call, let it ring. If they call, let it ring. If they call, let it ring. Versus if they call, let it ring. 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 So again, just trying to soften those transitions and things as you say sentences. Practice with these sentences. And if you guys have any questions, be sure to let me know. I have a couple quick things I want to highlight before we head out. We had a question here coming in from gosh, asked vocal fry good or bad in American English. Sometimes I feel vocal fry at the end of sentences. It's not good or bad. In pronunciation, most things aren't really good or bad. It's a tendency that you see spreading, especially among female speakers in the U.S., particularly on the West Coast around California. It's just a phenomenon that's happening. It's not good. It's not bad. That's the best answer I can give. It's not good and not bad. And they'll say, I have a fresh appearance. Well, thank you. Appreciate your kind words. Guys, if these little nuances, I just want to highlight one quick thing before we head out today. If these little nuances with pitch you find helpful, I do want to just highlight time is running out to register for workshops that we have this week and next week. We're doing workshops where we analyze pitch used by comedians. So that way you can improve your own storytelling. So that way you're going to have a greater ability to use pitch to communicate to people you talk to in day-to-day conversation, but also in meetings. Times when you need to talk to someone, times when you need to tell a story. These are all important aspects of language because we are social creatures who rely on storytelling, honestly, to convey information and to handle thoughts. So if you want to get more effective at communicating stories, at communicating in general with the people around you, pitch is going to be a fundamental tool for that. Comedians need pitch for their livelihood, for their jobs, but there's lots of lessons we can learn from them too. So on June 27th, at 8:30 to 10 a.m. New York, and also June 20th this week from 4 to 5:30 p.m. We're going to be having some workshops. It'll be great to see you there. Other things, we do have one final question coming in. Gotcha, asking what distinction between belly and diaphragm when we speak in American English? These are different body parts. They're close to each other, but they are referencing different parts of your body. Let's see. Okay, so like right here, this is your stomach is your belly. Okay, so like right there, that's your belly. Okay, your diaphragm is below. Your lungs are like around here. Your stomach is here. Your diaphragm's kind of like in this area. Okay, and your diaphragm's a muscle. Okay, and what it does again when you breathe in, your diaphragm drops to give you space to your lungs. Okay. And then when you breathe out, your diaphragm rises to kind of squeeze your lungs a little bit. Okay, so there are slightly different body parts. Your stomach, your gut is lower. Your diaphragm is a little bit higher beneath your chest. Okay, so hopefully that helps. All right. Other things. I think that's it. Practice this stuff, guys. Let me know how the sentences go, and if you have other questions about pitch, I do want to talk about it this week. So we'll be talking about pitch in preparation for our workshop soon. We're going to be looking at different comedians, but about to ask, who is this comedian? This comedian is Kevin Hart. Okay. He's just the person we put on our picture. We're looking at a couple different comedians. It's not just one. Okay, but yes. All right, guys. Thank you so much for your time. Look, there's a million different pronunciation resources out there. So the fact that you spent some of your day with us is greatly appreciated. We'll catch you tomorrow. Hope you guys have a good day, have a good night, and a good afternoon. You guys all take care.